Raise your right hand, ma'am. State your name.
My name is Audrey Gibbs.
You solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Been better.
Okay. Just breathe. You'll be fine. You need a minute?
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay. All right. You need to just let me know if you need to take a breath, okay?
Okay.
All right. If you would state your name for the record, please.
Yes, it's Audrey Gibbs.
And Miss Gibbs, where do you live?
I live in Kingsport, Tennessee.
All right. Do you know the defendant, Megan Boswell?
Yes.
And how is it that you know Miss Boswell?
We met in 7th grade.
Okay. You known her since then?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
It's been quite a minute. Over 10 years here.
Okay. Did you also attend high school with her?
Freshman year, yeah.
Okay. And where was that?
That was at Central.
Okay. Here in Bluntville?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know Miss Boswell's daughter, Evelyn?
Yes.
Okay. Were you friends with Miss Boswell after Evelyn was born?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see her or visit with her?
Quite often, yes.
Okay. When you say quite often, how often are we, how
Almost-
frequently are we talking?
Almost every day. You know, in 2019, we hung out a lot. Megan was one of my closest friends then. We would sometimes take trips together, and, you know, Evelyn was always there with us.
Okay. So that would have been right after Evelyn was born. Is that
Yeah.
right? How old was Evelyn at the time?
I think, you know, I mean, we hung out the whole time. I mean, in the summer, I believe she would be like, you know, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, something like that. I can't remember her exact age during that time. I just don't, yeah,
Okay. You were seeing her
quite often.
very frequently during that time.
Yeah.
What were your observations as far as Megan and her being a parent to Evelyn?
You know, for the most part, it was all right. There was no complaints there, but there were some things like that I noticed. Like sometimes it would be a long time before she would change her diaper, and it'd be like, hey, do you need to change her diaper or anything like that? There was also one time with the car seat. I had noticed that she hadn't buckled her in, and I just mentioned, hey, you know, you better buckle in Evelyn and stuff. It's not safe for you to ride around. You could get in a car accident, and she could get hurt. And just those two things I noticed. But other than that, not really much else.
Okay. She appeared to care for Evelyn.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
her.
yeah, definitely.
Good mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever babysit for Megan?
No. We were just, we would hang out together. We would, either go to the park, or one time we went to the aquarium in Pigeon Forge. We would always just do like family-friendly things. One time we also tie-dyed together with Evelyn. I made like a onesie for my daughter that day because it was before she was born.
Okay. At some point in time, do you leave the Tri-Cities area?
Yes. So after my baby shower, I did move to Knoxville with my the father of my child to live with his family at just Knoxville.
Okay. Do you remember when that was?
Yes, it would have been early November.
All right. Of 2019?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's kind of a silly question, but did you have your child?
Yes.
Okay. And when was that?
That was December 9th, 2019.
Not going to forget that date. All right. Did Megan come to see you while you were in the hospital?
Yes, she did, with my other best friend, Bailey.
Okay. What's Bailey's last name?
Bailey Hawkins.
Okay. So the two of them, you were in Knoxville, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so the two of them came together to see you while you were still in the hospital?
Yes, it was right after I'd given birth.
Okay. Did Megan have Evelyn with her that day?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
Which would have been the first time I saw her without Evelyn ever.
Okay. You trailed off a little bit there at the end. Did you say ever?
Oh, yeah, that would be the first time that I would ever see her without Evelyn. Because every time otherwise we hung out together with Evelyn always.
Okay. She always had Evelyn with her.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you notice anything unusual about Megan that day?
Yes. So I was just trying to tell my birthing story because, I kind of had a little bit of a traumatic one. So I was just, telling her and Bailey about that. And Megan's behavior that day was just a little weird. She just kind of had like a weird look in her eyes, and then she just kept saying over and over to me like, I love you, and just like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And it was just over and over until I would acknowledge that. And, eventually I had to say like, I love you too, but I was trying to tell a story.
Okay. So that was not her normal behavior?
No.
Not the normal way you all would interact?
No, normally, we'd have just like a regular old conversation back and forth.
Okay. Did you ask her where Evelyn was?
Yes, I did. I asked her where Evelyn was, and I can't remember who she said she was with, but I just thought that was kind of strange at the time because, normally she couldn't find a babysitter. It's hard for her, too.
After her visit, did you communicate or stay in touch with her?
Yes.
Okay. And how was it that you communicated with Megan?
Mainly through Instagram.
Did Megan talk at all about Evelyn?
Well, she wouldn't directly bring her up, but I would ask, about Evelyn, and if Kyrie could meet Evelyn because, they were supposed to be besties.
Okay. And who's Kyrie?
That's my daughter.
Okay. All right. So you said you talked about Evelyn.
Yeah.
Did Megan ever bring her up or talk about her, show any pictures?
She didn't show pictures, but she would answer, like, my questions if I asked about Evelyn. She would just say, she's good, but, she's not with me. She said one time that that Evelyn was with Ethan. Well, actually, that's really the only thing she told me was just that Evelyn was with Ethan.
Okay. And you said that this was after your visit on December the 9th. So,
Yes.
do you remember conversations back in January of 2020? Would you have had conversations with her on Instagram at that point in time?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Gibbs, I'm going to hand you a document and ask you if you can identify what's shown in that.
Yes, this is just mine and hers Instagram messages.
Okay. Is that a conversation that you had with her on January the 19th of 2020?
Yes.
All right. Is that a true and accurate depiction of the conversation that you had with her?
Yes.
Judge, I would move to make that exhibit. Sorry,
68.
68.
You guessing? Instagram.
It's Instagram. Yes, Judge. And I'm going to ask to publish that to the jury. All right, Ms. Gibbs. Just for clarification, I noticed at the top it says Maggie May. Is that how you had her, or is that her handle on?
That was her
Instagram?
handle on Instagram.
Okay. And the tagline there, Maggie_Wood 23.
Wait, sorry, that was her handle. The first part, that was just like her name, how it's shown on Instagram, but
Okay.
the under part's the
Okay.
handle.
Okay.
Sorry.
So that's how her name displays as Maggie May.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so her part of the conversation there is on the left. Yours is on the right. Is that correct? Okay. So on January the 19th, 2020, you got a message from her, WYD. Can you tell us what that stands for those of us who may not know?
Yes, that means what you doing.
Okay. And did you respond to that?
Yes.
All right. And again, you used
This is slang term, sorry.
NMWBU, what does that stand for?
That means not much. What about you?
Okay. And what else did you ask her?
I just said, how's Evelyn? To which she would reply, good. And then, I mentioned you should bring her up here to meet Kyrie, just because, that was one of my biggest things. I just really wanted them to get together.
Okay. And did she respond to your comment about that?
Yes, she then said, I don't have her right now. Ethan's got her, but we could come tonight if you want us to. Which I was at my aunt's at the time, so that's why I said tonight wouldn't be good. When's the next time you could come? And then she said probably not for another couple weeks, which at that time I would be out of Kingsport because I lived in Knoxville at the time.
Okay. So you were just up here visiting?
Family, yes.
Okay.
And friends.
Okay. All right. Ms. Gibbs, I'm going to hand you a document of sorts and ask if you can identify that.
Yes, this is another conversation between me and her on Instagram.
All right. Was that a conversation that you all had back on January the 24th into the 25th of 2020?
Yes,
All right.
and also the 26th.
Okay. And was that a true and accurate copy of the conversation that you all had there on Instagram?
Yeah.
All right. Judge, I would move to make that Exhibit 69. Asked to publish it to the jury. All right, Ms. Gibbs. So again, Ms. Boswell's portion of the conversation is as we look at on the left part of the screen here on the right side. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So you want to interpret for us again?
Yeah. Okay, so starting off, she says, "What are you doing?" And then I just said, "Nothing much. What about you?" And then she said, "I'm impregnated." And then, am I allowed to use profanity? Okay.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh shit, for real?" And she said, "Yes." And then I said, "That's awesome. Evelyn's going to have a sibling." And then she said, "Yes."
Okay. All right. Did you continue to have communication with Miss Boswell after that?
I mean, it would have still been kind of spotty, here and there. Just messaging when I could, because I was like, a new time mom for the first time, and just kind of, going through the newborn stage. But, I think I messaged her one more time, well, a couple more times, and then the last message I remember sending her was basically like when everything came out, and I was like, "How are you? This is pretty intense." Okay. But that was like one of my last messages to her.
All right. Did she ever respond to you
No.
at that point in time? Okay. Ms. Gibbs, when was the last time that you saw Evelyn?
It would have been my baby shower.
Okay. And when was your baby shower?
It would have been October 31st.
Okay. 2019?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine. Okay. And then you left after that and went to
Yes.
the hospital. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. If you would answer any questions Mr. Scott has for you.
Okay.
No questions. All right. Ms. Gibbs, thank you for your testimony. Your release from the subpoena, ma'am. We're free to go.
Thank you.
State would call Bailey Hawkins.